The Raging Bull now with the wrist of Gerald Finley is going to whip it around Johnny Weaver and really put the pressure to the arm. A reversal now by Finley.
Finley tried to counter, but the Bull was able to escape that maneuver. And of course, the Bull with no more man is more intent than the Bull in the ring. And he has the advantage right now.
Leaps right over Gerald Finley. Good leg takedown now by the Raging Bull as he's got Finley on the mat. Stay tuned, fans. The action will continue. Still in the ring, fans. Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling with the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez. Finley right over him. Look at the Bull get high in the air, Johnny Weaver.
And once again, and off the ropes comes Finley, and he caught that fist right on the forehead. The Bull, an intense individual, right on top of the action now with a vicious knee drop. Bob, the Bull has the upper hand.
Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, fans. The very finest in professional wrestling. NWA, the major leagues of professional wrestling, and we've got an exciting hour in store for you. Johnny, we're going to get a look at a number of champions. We're going to talk to a number of them, and we're going to see them in action in the ring.
The new World Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express, are going to be here. We have a great match. For our 50th Golden Year anniversary, we said we would bring these great matches to you, and we have one today. It'll be a main event anywhere. Jimmy the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant against Tully Blanchard later in the program. And you know, Bob, right here, an intense shot of the Bull involved in a little controversy right now with the Barbarian and superstar Billy Graham, the Boogie Woogie Man, and #1 Paul Jones.
Now still with that fist down, hard under the jaw of Finley again. Finley rolling over on the mat, turns into the Bull, slowly gets to his feet. Yes, sir, the Bull, the Barbarian, and that #1 Paul Jones, Johnny, they've been creating a lot of problems. Superstar Billy Graham. But the Bull is certainly one that can handle it. The Snapmare now is going to bring Finley out from the ropes, closer to the center of the ring. During this hour, you're going to get a look at the new World Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express. And fans, if you haven't seen these youngsters, boy, you're in for a real treat. Johnny, they're just something super.
And a lot of controversy centering around Magnum TA, who lost that United States heavyweight title, and some other things have happened to Magnum. We're going to be able to see those later on. And we'll see Magnum into the match on this hour.
And Tully Blanchard, our United States champion, will be here. What about this match? Main event, Johnny. Any arena, anywhere you want to put it. Jimmy Valiant, the Boogeyman from New York City. Tully Blanchard, the U.S. heavyweight champion. That's going to be right here.
Can't wait for that action, Bob. And a head scissors now by the Raging Bull.
The Bull with those head scissors now on Gerald Finley. And with a tremendous power in the legs, he can really put the pressure on the head.
Bull has been former World Tag Team Champion himself, and you know, with Tully Blanchard having that U.S. title now, I'm sure the Bull is looking in the directions of Tully Blanchard for that U.S. belt also.
Now the Bull's going to break the hold, and he does very quickly. Back to his feet again. Both these men for their size, extremely quick and fast. Good takedown headlock now by the Bull as he's keeping the pressure right on the head of Gerald Finley.
We'll also have a match with Cowboy Ron Bass on the hour, and you know that's bad news for Nature Boy Buddy Landell and J.J. Dillon. And Bass.
And also, as you mentioned, we're going to get a look at Magnum TA as we'll have a match with him. All of that, fans, right during this hour. Now, Finley switching on the Bull, whips him to the corner.
A face full of fists for Gerald Finley. Bull backwards on McCarter. Backwards to the ring. Cross-body dive. That could be it, Bob.
High off of the top turnbuckle comes the Bull. And Finley goes down under the tremendous weight and power of that move. Johnny, he really didn't have to put much pressure to it. He just hooked a leg just to be sure that Finley was there. Watch in slow motion. finishes. The bull is high on the top turnbuckle, and he's going to come off backwards, reverse in midair, right onto Finley with that flying, leaping press out of that corner, and it's going to put Finley away, Johnny.
With that flying press on the
over Gerald Finley. And Johnny, as we mentioned, what an exciting hour we've got in store for all you wrestling fans during this hour. And as we say, things have really been happening. Magnum TA having lost the United States Heavyweight Championship belt. We've got a new World Tag Team Champions. Only been champions now for a few weeks. The Rock and Roll Express. Lots of things happening, Johnny.
And a lot of controversy around Magnum TA right now. He seems to be the center of attraction. He lost the U.S. title bout to Tully Blanchard. Security person seemed to come to the ring and appeared to pass something to Tully Blanchard. Later on the same week, the Anderson, Ole and Arn viciously attacked him in Philadelphia. We're going to get to see all that later on this hour.
Yes, sir. It's just going to be a fantastic hour, fans. We're going to have Tully Blanchard, the new United States champion, in a match against the Boogeyman, and that's going to be exciting.
And right now we have one of the hottest men around today with his manager, Nature Boy Buddy Landel, and James J. Dillon.
Right, Mr. James J. Dillon.
Yeah, let's spice this program up a little bit and talk about something that people want to hear about. I'm talking about Nature Boy Buddy Landel. And while I'm talking about him, there's one man conspicuously absent today, and I'm talking about the world heavyweight champion, Ric Flair. Now, I know you're going to tell me he's defending the gold.
That's right.
Yeah, he's real busy. Yeah, he's riding around in limousines, flying in jets, enjoying that lifestyle. But he's only going to enjoy that lifestyle as long as he can afford it, and he can only afford it as long as he's a world champion. And he's not going to be world champion very long, except that he keeps avoiding Nature Boy Buddy Landel, the same as the American Dream Dusty Rhodes is doing. Hey, he's got that world television title. He's all happy and excited. Why didn't he defend it against Landel? I got a sick feeling inside of me that they're both sitting at home thinking, well, please, Ron Bass, do something to put a stop to the momentum of Nature Boy Landel.
You know, JJ, I thought we was rid of Bass when we got him out of the limousine. But I guess now he wants to get everything on in the ring. Well, that's fine and good. Ric Flair, I don't want to be like you. Because, Bob Caudle, you know, you've been around, you've heard the latest word. The Nature Boy Buddy Landel's a new stud on the scene. That's right, I said it.
All right, fans, we're going to be back with more right after we take this time out. Fans, we mentioned that Magnum TA was injured, and we want to show you that. But first, Johnny, I think we ought to set the scene, just what had happened.
Whoa.
Magnum TA and Dusty Rhodes were scheduled for a match against the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Arn and Ole Anderson.
That's right, and Magnum had lost the U.S. title. And they were at the arena, and the local television station sent a crew down to get an interview with Magnum about the match with Tully Blanchard. And they got off into another part of the building where they could get away from everybody and wouldn't be disturbed. And while they were into that process, this is what happened, Bob.
All right, fans, and this is the way that Magnum TA was injured. We want you to see it. Watch it right here.
It's no new thing to any of the people in Philadelphia what's been going on between you and I. And it's damn good and ready for the time to... Sorry, cut. We can't do that. I can't do that. We do this one more time.
Sure. Stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Tully Blanchard, all the people of Philadelphia know all the things you've done to myself, all the things you've done to the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. But it's time for some dues to be paid, some real heavy dues. You've done some things to me that you're going to have to answer for, and Philadelphia is the place you're going to answer for. You know, the U.S. title is very prestigious, and you and I have gone round and round over it. And when we come to Philadelphia this time, there's going to be no mistaking what's going to happen. I'm going to come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. I'm coming there to take you out in no uncertain terms. No baby doll at your side, nobody to run distractions for you, just you and I in the middle of that square circle, nose to nose, eye to eyeball, getting it on like two men should do. This is professional wrestling. This isn't some game. This is where men are men and the boys stay on the side and watch what's going on. And Tully Blanchard, you can't run and hide from me anymore. You're going to have to deal with Magnum TA. All the stuff, all the things you've done are going to come to a head. Philadelphia is going to be the place. What's this?
Come on, mother!
Give him this. You ain't so tough now, are you, big boy? Oh, how are you doing? Yeah.
And Johnny, that's why everybody in the wrestling world was shocked. That vicious, unprovoked attack on Magnum by the Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
And Bob, that was certainly an uncalled for situation. Tully there, Magnum there talking about Tully and a match coming up from out of nowhere. The Andersons brothers, or not the brothers, but the Arn and Ole come. We have a bunch of Russians in the ring right now.
All right, and fans, we're going to be showing you more about that and more about Magnum a little later. Let's go to the ring. Crusher Khrushchev and Lee Ramsey. And along with Crusher Khrushchev, there are the other two Russians, Ivan and Nikita Koloff. Wherever you find one of the Russians, Johnny, you're going to find three of them.
And they are the world six-man tag team champions. However, it would be Crusher Khrushchev in action in this match. And there's Big Nikita urging on to Crusher Khrushchev. And our crowd is on him with the USA champ, Big Crusher Khrushchev. 270, 75 pounds, Bob, in great physical condition, great specimen.
Johnny, the thing about these Russians, it doesn't matter which one you put in the ring. They're all big, they're all strong, all of them are extremely powerful. Any one of them has got such tremendous strength as he just lifts Ramsey high in the air and he just throws him right down across the top rope.
And sooner or later in a match, you're going to get hit with that Russian hammer or that Russian sickle if you're not very, very careful. And of course, both Nikita and Crusher under the guidance of the Russian bear, Ivan Koloff, and the three of them do make a dynamic, destructive team.
He just hit him with that sickle shot. He coming off of the rope. A quick pin for Crusher Khrushchev as Nikita Koloff comes through the ropes to congratulate his comrade. And as the Russians sing, the road to Moscow is going to be paved with gold from Nikita Khrushchev. Nikita Koloff, and watch Crusher Khrushchev in this finish, Johnny, as he lowers the boom right here on Lee Ramsey, and it's all over right here with the Big Russian, our winner over Lee Ramsey. Well, you saw a few moments ago the beginning of what happened to Magnum TA. And as we say, Johnny, there's certainly more to this and more to the story because there was a match supposed to take place.
That's right, Bob. The Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA were scheduled to meet Ole and Arn Anderson in a match that particular evening. Of course, as we see what's going to transpire here,
here's Dusty now going down to the ring.
Is that Dusty or is that one of the Andersons? That's the Andersons going into the ring.
That's right,
Bob.
the Andersons going into the ring.
Dusty at this particular point does not know where Magnum is because they went over to another part of the building to get some peace and quiet to do that particular interview. And we'll see as the Andersons, yeah, they're really cocky in there right now because they know where Magnum is. But I'm sure Dusty at this point is seeking frantically for Magnum because as we saw where Magnum was, he was left laying flat. Even the camera was down flat. And a vicious attack of these two men.
You can see when you get a good look at the Andersons, you can see the calmness on their face because, as you say, they know what has happened. The ring announcer at this part does not know.
Here comes Dusty.
Here's Dusty coming down to the ring.
This time, he can't possibly know why Magnum hasn't come back from that interview.
Now here's Dusty getting into the ring. He's talking to the ring announcer. Johnny, I think he's saying that he doesn't know where Magnum is, and I believe he's asking for time.
Yeah, he may be asking. It looks like he put his hand up like he's asking.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh,
he's attacked from behind.
He's not going to get any time, Bob. Look at the Anderson. And they can do it very confidently, Bob, because they know where Magnum is.
And Dusty Rhodes in the ring all by himself. Two of the Andersons, Arn and Ole Anderson. Both of them now attacking Dusty Rhodes as they've got him face down on the mat, slugging, stomping, kicking at him, double teaming. One holds him while the other slugs him.
Here's Terry Taylor into the ring, and to Dusty's aid. Let's see what happens here. I'm sure this surprised the Andersons at this point because they know what they've already done to Magnum.
They throw Terry right out of the ring.
Yeah, not too much help right there. And here, someone else in the ring, and the Andersons again going to work on them. And looks like somebody else over the top rope. Just a vicious attack on everybody by the Andersons on this particular occasion. Of course, they were a couple of steps ahead by catching Magnum by himself. And then they caught Dusty as he turned to go search for Magnum by himself. And someone running in, there's just one man running in, and it's been 1 against 2 the whole particular time.
These deliberate attacks, and what the Andersons are doing, of course, are deliberately double teaming and attacking these guys. Johnny, they got to be trying to hurt them. They got to be trying to put them away.
And double teaming and 2-on-1 is what the Andersons have always been particularly good at.
Here is Ole now, and Arn Anderson still attacking Dusty Rhodes as Dusty is on the mat. And he's defenseless and completely helpless. Magnum crawling through the ropes.
Still his clothes, which were ripped off of him earlier, and the Andersons know sense that he's still in bad shape. And the way he came in the ring, he sure looked like he was just making a valiant effort to get in that ring. And look at the Andersons go to work on him. Both of them. The Dream is down. Magnum is out on his feet, hardly able to stand up. I don't know how he got to the ring.
He was just cut a complete flip by that right hand from Big Ole Anderson. Now we got a ring full.
Yes, the numbers are changing now, Bob. And I tell you, a lot of the wrestlers are going to the aid and see about the self-being of Dusty and Magnum, who are both stretched out on the mat at this point. It's just been a vicious, uncalled for attack. But the Andersons, I don't know. They caught them apart, Bob. They caught one at one time, another at another time.
Yeah, they got that house divided. That's exactly what they did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
America's team, but they caught one in one dressing room and one in the ring. And it looks...
Boy, Magnum is in... He looks in terrible shape right here, Johnny.
He really worked his face over, and... I don't know, Magnum out flat on his back. I don't even think Dusty on the far side
he's still
as he has gotten on his feet at this point. It looks very serious right here, especially for Magnum. His face is a mess right there.
You just cannot overstate how vicious the Andersons were in this attack and what they were trying to do to Dusty Rhodes and to Magnum TA. They definitely had it in their mind to really work him over good.
Here, they have got the Dream on his feet and taking him over to Magnum, and I think that's the first time that Dusty has found out where Magnum has been since Magnum left to go do an interview with that film crew.
That's right. The crew from Philadelphia. Magnum went in to do that. Dusty knew that's where he had gone, but he didn't know what happened to him from that point. Now looking down to Magnum, I'm sure Dusty still doesn't know all that transpired and what happened at this point.
At this point, though, he could be aware that Magnum was still in that room. Magnum looks in very bad shape here. I don't know if they can get him on his feet at this particular point right here. Dusty is being led off. He needs assistance to get back to the dressing room on the far side. Let's see, they've got him on a stretcher.
Brought a stretcher down to ringside now. They're going to put Magnum TA on that stretcher. He is completely out. He's going to be carried now from the arena on the stretcher, Johnny.
Well, it certainly was a vicious attack. Look at Magnum right there. And, he's got enough problems on his mind with that U.S. belt, and now the Andersons. Just a terrible attack on him, a valiant effort to get in there to the match. I don't know how he got from that dressing room into the ring to start with.
Just on fortitude and strength and determination, because he was having to crawl into the ring when he got there.
We've seen the last couple of appearances a different Magnum since he lost that belt. There, I think we saw it again. Great effort.
And fans, that's exactly what happened. You saw it all right there. The Magnum TA into Dusty Rhodes, the vicious attack. How everybody is shocked at what the Andersons did. Well, Johnny, a little later on, about an hour after that, Magnum TA was carried to the dressing room on the stretcher. He was attended to by paramedics and by doctors in the dressing room. And about an hour later, Magnum TA was able to give us this interview. Let's watch it.
Anderson, I guess you think all the cards are laid out on the table now. You did to me exactly what you said you'd do. You said you'd find me somewhere by myself, and you'd take care of me once and for all. What did get to me, and you've hurt me real bad. Better than anybody's ever thought about doing damage to me in my whole entire life. But the one thing you didn't realize is you haven't put me out. You tried to take away my dream to be the best I could ever be in professional wrestling, to work my way to the top. You tried to take that from me. Well, now you got to realize one thing. I'm a wounded animal. I'm hurt pretty bad, but you don't know how bad. In every waking moment of my life now, your images are dwelt. They're burnt in my mind, and that's all I see. Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, and every second of the day, you're going to have to be thinking about where I'm coming from, because somewhere, I'm going to get a piece of you. Somewhere, Ole and Arn Anderson, you're going to make my day, and there's not one thing you're going to be able to do about it.
Tremendous roar from the crowd and the music introducing the Rock and Roll Express, the World Tag Team Champions, Johnny.
And the fans love them, and they love their fans, Bob, and there's the belts in their hands. They've been defending them. You know that was a tough task, getting those belts, and they admit themselves it's going to be a tougher task hanging on to them, because they can look down the line who's going to be stepping up, who's going to be wanting those shots, world title shots, and they don't count the Russians. They don't count the Russians out of it at all.
These two young men are really exciting in the ring. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson at the bell, and their opponents, Mac and Jim Jeffers, the brother combination, and it's going to be Jim Jeffers now against Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express as our match gets underway.
And this should be an action-packed event, because the Rock and Roll Express will bring the action to you. Their speed, their quickness, and really contributed a lot to their winning the belts from the Russians. They will not count the Russians out of it. They know they're a formidable team still, and they're going to have those defenses against the Russians, and the Russians can throw any kind of combination at you. You know, there's three of them.
That's right, and not to give anything to the Russians, Johnny, because they certainly don't need it, but the fact they may have been surprised by this combination right here by the Rock and Roll Express. I'm not so sure they exactly knew what to expect in that match, and these two young men are just terrific. They've got great moves. They're very quick. They're quick as greased lightning in the ring, and I tell you, the big Russians just didn't know what hit them.
And they are also intelligent enough to know they got to look around, because there'll be there's other great teams here. Ole and Arn Anderson, superstar Billy Graham, the Barbarian, and not to forget a man that's really shooting his mouth off and being really flamboyant himself, and about shooting his mouth off about his team, the Midnight Express. But we're going to see it a little later in the program.
That's right. We're going to be hearing from Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express. Takedown there again now by Robert Gibson, as he's got the headlock now on Jim Jeffers again. Jim Jeffers been in most of the bout so far, as the Rock and Roll Express, doing like all good tag teams do, as they go back to the corner. They're going to switch and tag. They're going to keep a fresh man in the ring as often as they can, Johnny.
And it's Ricky Gibson in there now with Jim Jeffers, and again Bob over in the corner.
Beautiful drop kick. He gets so high into the air. He gets so high into the air. Robert Gibson over the top rope. Down on Jeffers.
Knee drop, and they have kept Jim Jeffers in the ring the entire match. And over on their side, they're going to switch again, Bob. And there's that lightning speed that is exhibited by the Rock and Roll Express. Keep that man over on their side of the ring, wear him down, tag frequently, and sooner or later find an opening for a victory.
They work so well together, Johnny. They've got their timing just down perfect. I don't think I've ever seen a team where both of them can go up for that double drop kick and both land the power behind it, as does the Rock and Roll Express.
Very exciting from the time that music starts till it's over. And right here now, we could be developing a little trouble for Ricky Morton. Let's see if he can escape. Fine escape. He got away from a trap set up by the Jeffers. And he's in good territory out there in the center of the ring.
Matt Jeffers now in after the tag. They had him set up for the double team in their corner, and he very quickly ducked right under, came down the ropes.
Right on a button, and Jeffers never knew what hit him. It happened so quick, and his partner can't get in there. Robert Gibson, Ricky Martin, the Rock and Roll Express, the winner of our event.
The power and the quickness of that double drop kick. It puts his opponent down. It stuns him so that he doesn't really know what hit him. There's the timing and the beauty of the double drop kick as the Rock and Roll Express are the winners over Mac and Jim Jeffers. Well, fans, we just saw some world champions. A man right here that has world championship aspirations.
Talk about me, Bob Carter.
Nature Boy Buddy Landel, and this man right here that's just certain. I'll tell you, if anybody's certain of anything, J.J. Dillon is certain that this man's going to be the world champion.
Well, my track record speaks for itself, and earlier today we got on the subject and we really didn't have much time, but I think it warrants a little further discussion. I'm talking about the accusation, because that's what I'm making, a public accusation of the fact that the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the world television champion and the world's heavyweight champion is recognized by the NWA, Ric Flair, are both, frankly, avoiding this man. He has defeated all comers. He's gone through the competition like a hot knife through butter. For me, I've been waiting for the phone to ring for the promoters to offer me the contracts to face either Rhodes or Ric Flair, and I keep getting excuses. They keep mentioning Cowboy Ron Bass's name.
You know,
What about Cowboy? Let me ask you about Ron Bass.
Ask me, and I got the answer, brother. Just like I told J.J. Dillon when I first come here, that Ron Bass cramped my style. I tolerated him as a favorite of my manager. So we got rid of Ron Bass, which in a sense we did, and which in a sense we didn't. Now, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes are hoping and praying every night when they go to bed that Ron Bass is going to eliminate the Nature Boy Buddy Landel, which on several occasions he's had the chance. And as you can see, there's no scars on my face, brother, because I'm a pitcher, not a catcher, and I throw them all night long. You know what I'm talking about? Ric Flair, every time that I come out here on Nationwide TV, you want to make it convenient for yourself to be out someplace else. And oh yeah, Bob Caudle, you and the rest of them out making excuses why he's not here, when in fact he knows that the new studs in town, the Nature Boy, the real and only Nature Boy, Buddy Landel. J.J. Dillon has turned my career around. Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, just forget about the idea about Ron Bass getting rid of the Nature Boy Buddy Landel, because it's not going to happen.
Bass got two things going for him. One's illegal and the other one's embarrassing to mention. The illegal thing is that claw that he's put some men down with. It's illegal, and I should know. And the other thing that's embarrassing to talk about that he's got going for him is his stupidity. Because without me around to do the thinking like I did for 3 years, he's got no clue in the world of what's going on. He's like a dumb ox. You hook him up to a cart, you take a big stick, hit him across the back end, and he'll walk till he falls down because he doesn't know any better.
Fans, a lot of tag teams, they've been making a lot of problems and a lot of waves around Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. But one that's really making the waves, the Midnight Express and their manager, Jim Cornette. Well, he's like nothing you've ever seen. Let's hear right here from Jim Cornette and the Midnight
Ladies and gentlemen, with me right now,
No, they aren't. No, they aren't. Let me do this, David Crockett. You just stand there. Ladies and gentlemen, back by popular demand, the greatest tag team in professional wrestling, the men that eat lightning and clap thunder, Loverboy Dennis and beautiful Bobby, the Midnight Express.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. We're waiting for the Midnight Express. Jim Cornette with this great manager. And to admit, this Midnight Express. Like them or not, and their manager, Jim Cornette. They can even talk to him. All right, beautiful Bobby's in there. Look Look at him stomp away. Backs him in, makes the tag. The luscious Dennis.
He's breaking my heart. He is breaking my heart.
Jim Cornette.
Come on, son.
Never at a loss for words.
What's the matter with you, boy?
But he's got a good team. Look at him.
What's the matter with you? You don't know how to fight or what, huh?
Always talking. Whether it's shouting instructions to his team or insults to his opponents. Back him in, whip him across. Good elbow in the chest. They drag him over. Uh-oh. Back. Won't let him get to the ropes. Whip him across. The team, the Midnight Express. Look at him. Luscious Dennis pulls that neck back.
Save yourself a lot of trouble. Save yourself a lot of trouble. Come on, guys, save yourself some trouble. Give it up.
Intimidation. They can do it.
Oh, come on. Hit him, man, hit him.
Destroying their opponents right now. The Midnight Express. Hey, think about this. What they went up against America's team. That's right. Think it. It's a good name. America's team. I'm talking about Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA. Good suplex. You have to admit that. Just think about it.
Hey, get somebody else in here, you piece of trash.
All right, why not Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA?
Come on, we want some volunteers.
Or Brett and Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. But this team, you have to respect them. Look at them tagging in and out. They're quick.
We need some volunteers,
Watch out, he's going up on that top rope. He's up there, he's ready. Diving across. Oh, my word. He is out. The man is out. The man's out. What's he gonna do? The man's out. Got him up. What's he gonna do? He helps him. Oh! He was out! He was out though! What? He was out! Oh my word! Look at Cornette. Let's go back and watch him now. Let's watch this. He's up on the top rope. And watch him spring. All of his weight hard down on the chest. And your winner's the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette. Look out.
In the ring right now, fans at the bell. Here's big cowboy Ron Bass. With that cowboy slicker, that cowboy hat, and on that right hand, Johnny, that big glove, and of course, with that goes the deadly claw.
The thing that I think that J.J. Dillon so sharp.
Absolutely. He keeps talking. Whoa.
He didn't know
Ron
the quality of the Bass claw hold.
Ron Bass with just a big, strong right hand just cuts Mark Fleming for a flip as Fleming had him back to the ropes. Yes, sir. J.J. Dillon saying what his boy, Buddy Landell, is going to do to Ron Bass. But Ron Bass, with that claw hold, I think if he ever gets a chance to put that claw hold on Buddy Landell, he's going to turn out some lights, Johnny.
Well, the controversy is building between can the claw hold overcome the figure four leg lock. And we've been talking
Wouldn't that be a battle?
We've been talking about that for several weeks. And, you know, what about if he got the claw not only on Landell, but what if he got it on J.J. Dillon?
Hey, there you go. High in the air goes Fleming for the backdrop. Good arm drag now by Bass.
Bass moving very well. Really being aggressive.
He's got him set up. Let's see if he's going to go with a claw. Oh, right across the far now, Fleming.
With the claw hold, the Cowboy on Mark Fleming. He could be counted out right here. Let's see, referee Tommy Young.
J.J. Dillon has got to fear this man, and he's got to fear that hole right there that you just saw from Ron Bass as he clamped that big claw right around the head of Mark Fleming.
And was J.J. Dillon at the time too enthused in the clear of Buddy Landel to overlook this coming right off the road to the claw of big Cowboy Ron Bass.
Again in slow motion, the finish on Mark Fleming, and we'll be right back after we take this time out. Fans right now back at ringside, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the world television champion, still has with him Baby Doll. Dusty.
You know, that's not on my mind. Right now, I want to tell Ole and Arn Anderson, wherever you're looking at me right now throughout this world, you're going to pay the dues coming to you. Magnum TA and myself will not let this thing pass. From this day on, you got to look for us, because we're going to be gunning for you. You can go anywhere in the world. If you're eating in a cafe somewhere, I'm going to take it to you, Jack. And when it happens, you know America's team, Magnum TA and Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, are going to come for you, baby.
All right, Dusty, and the man right here that I'm glad to see on his feet, Magnum TA. Magnum.
American Heartthrob. I heard while I was gone, you happened to lose something.
Ooh. Ooh.
Tully Blanchard, I hope you hear this. I hope you hear this warning. That woman of yours is no woman. She is nothing but a common floozy on the street. She ain't got no business around the wrestling ring. She ain't got no business doing what she done to me. But after you, the United States heavyweight title is the number one thing on my mind. The number one thing every day. That's all I think about. Getting it back. You stole it from me, sure as if you were a thief in the night. I've been through battle after battle with you. I've taken all the punishment you can dish out, and you never come close to knocking me out. Well, let me assure you one thing. Now I'm the wrecking crew. Now I'm the man coming to take what's mine. The United States heavyweight title belongs to Magnum TA. It doesn't belong to you. And everybody out there knows that what I'm doing now, I do for a reason. Tully Blanchard, sooner or later, it's going to come down. Well, you can't run. You can't hide. And when that happens, Tully, then you're going to get hurt. And then you're going to be mine.
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Baby Doll. Dusty, she's your valet. She's still yours till August 5th.
A very short time from now, Tully Blanchard, I return this thing you call your perfect 10. And I want you to remember this. You're wearing something belongs to somebody else. But I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. Tully Blanchard, the United States heavyweight champion. When you get this here, whatever you call her back, you better take care of her, because I'm coming after your hide. I'm coming after you, and Magnum TA is that far from kicking your honey all the way across this country. And it's gonna happen. August the 5th, you can have her back, because, baby, I tell you what, I wouldn't even touch her with my hands. Come on.
All right, fans, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Baby Doll, Magnum TA in the ring, ready with action, Johnny.
And let's keep an eye on Magnum TA as he goes up against George South. You know, the last couple times we saw him, he's been a different man.
You can just look in his eyes and see the intensity, Johnny, that Magnum TA has.
And with the Andersons' attack on him, Bob, I think right now, any man that gets in that ring would have a tough time defeating Magnum TA, world champion included. And right here is belly to belly and a win.
Oh, it only took him just a matter of seconds with that belly to belly suplex, Johnny. And when he gets you with that and slams you to the mat, they don't give up.
And we'll see it once more, slow motion. George South in the ropes of off, Magnum in position. Belly to belly, suplex, the winner.
And with us right here, the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez, Cowboy Ron Bass.
Let me tell you something, Bob Cottle. There's a lot of intensity in the air. There's a lot of bad hombres running around here thinking that they got something that really don't belong to them. You know, I'm not sick and tired of the barbarian. I want to really get back in the ring with this man, this awesome animal in a Mexican death match. Everybody says, hey, Bull, you got to be crazy. The man's a monster. Well, I'm a monster too, Daddy. And when you're riding the bull, it's a long, hard ride. And Tully Blanchard, he's running around here thinking that he won the United States title. Well, Daddy, you just saw the backward flying burrito, one of the most intensive, awesome moves in the professional wrestling today. And then you saw Magnum, intensity, Daddy. It's what it's all about. There's a lot of hombres after you, Tully Blanchard. So anytime you gear up and want to put your name, your sister name on the line, the Bull's waiting, the Dream's waiting, and Magnum TA's waiting. And I think Ron Bass is waiting for some little phony blonde calling himself Nature Girl, huh, baby?
You know, man, you look around right now, things are happening in professional wrestling that shouldn't happen in the world, brother. If there's a man walking out there, it's time for you to stand up. It's time to be a man. It's time to be counted. Because you look around professional wrestling, you see a security guard comes down to the ring and hands something into the ring. You see two brothers attack one man, 2-on-1, and they leave the man like he's going to be just wiped out, brother. And I'm telling you, and then you got one, J.J. Dillon and Buddy Landau. They bag jump me, brother. Well, whatever happened to the good old one-on-one, huh? Whatever happened to just a good old fight, huh? Whatever happened to it? Well, let's go on at it. Let me tell you something, brother. It's time to get back. If it has to be me and Manny, if it has to be me and Dusty, whether it's me and Magnum TA, Bull, or whatever, we're going to have to start getting together, people, and we're going to be looking at you eyeball to eyeball. This one-on-one, this back jumping, and all these little things, these little shortcuts that have been taken. It's time for them to be done. It's time for law and order, brother. And right here's where it starts. I'm going to be stepping forward, brother, and I'm going to be the first man that says, hey, I'll put my name in the hat anytime. Anybody out there needs some help, brother. The big cowboy. And Dylan, I've heard you come out here, you and little Buddy Landau, saying the only thing that's keeping you from a world championship is me. Well, you're right. I'm going to keep you from a world championship. I'm going to keep you from making a living if I can. Because, brother, it's time for you to pay the dues. And I am here to collect. All you got to do is get in the ring. Dylan, Landau, brother, I ain't forgot you for a bit.
Can turn them on. The boy from New York City, the boogeyman Jimmy Valiant, across the ring. There is the U.S. heavyweight champion, Tully Blanchard, who gets his perfect 10 back from Dusty Rhodes on August 5th. Main event match, any arena, anywhere in the world, fans, right here on television.
And these folks in this arena are ready for this one, Bob, and so are the two wrestlers in there. Look at the Boogie Woogie Man going to work on Tully Blanchard.
Johnny, he got him over head high with that flip. Now he got Tully so high into the air. Boy, he came a long way down to the mat. Off of the ropes with a hard, powerful right hand. Blanchard down again.
Well, Mr. Tully Blanchard, you want to break the rules? You want to mix it up? The Boogie Woogie Man has been known for that. He's broken a few rules down the way in his day.
Tully Blanchard spinning and running down the rope. There's a finger. He just showed you that thumb, Johnny.
Thumb to the throat, and Blanchard hasn't been able to install in the match his previous tactics of escaping and getting to the floor, Bob. He hasn't been able to run from the Boogie Woogie Man. He's been all over him since the bell rang.
Jimmy Valiant, who came out of the corner like a madman. He's been right on top of Tully Blanchard all the way.
Front face lock.
He hasn't even given Blanchard breathing room, Johnny.
Front face lock, then maneuvered into the corner. Hard right by both men, but Valiant scores better as Tully goes to the canvas.
Valiant had another right hand cocked and ready to unload it when Tully Blanchard went down. Right to the throat. As you say, Johnny, the rules don't mean much to Jimmy Valiant at this stage.
And they never have. And Blanchard with wobbly knees right now. Now he's getting pushed right out.
He's going to push him right through the ropes. You're talking about mauling, battling, and fighting. Valiant is after him any way he can get him.
I don't think Tully Blanchard thought before the match it would be anything like this, but the Boogie Woogie Man has really been all over scores. Now Blanchard scores, and look how quickly he follows up that attack. Bob, he has the moves quick as a cat.
Boy, as soon as he heard Valiant and he knew it, you saw him go to the attack, and he stayed right on it. What happened? Valiant kicked out at 2. He almost had him pinned.
But he's not away, as Tully was quickly in there with a reverse chin lock. Our crowd, listen to our crowd.
A great comeback by the U.S. champion, Tully Blanchard here. Now here comes the boogeyman. He's got him in the sleeper. The sleeper now on Tully Blanchard.
Listen to the crowd.
He's out near the center of the ring, and he may go down.
Blanchard's going. He's going. He's on his knees. Oh,
Abdullah the Butcher.
Abdullah the Butcher into the ring. I think the referee is called for disqualification. But Abdullah hacking away at the forehead of the Boogie Woogie Man. 462-pound Abdullah the Butcher. Tully Blanchard joins in.
Blanchard also on down. Here comes Magnum TA after Abdullah. Abdullah goes down. Now Magnum has got Tully Blanchard. He's going to pick up the big man and slam him.
Body slam.
Unbelievable.
The Butcher. A body slam. Blanchard high in the air. A tummy drop by Blanchard. Magnum TA cleaning house. Hard right. He's got Blanchard's knees buckling. Blanchard escapes. Here's the Boogie Woogie Man back in the ring.
Valiant is back into the ring. Magnum TA. Tully's out. Abdullah's out.
And in the ring now, the Boogie Woogie Man, Magnum TA. And a 2-on-1 by Blanchard and Abdullah did not work out too well this time.
All right, fans, I want a wild and woolly finish to that match with Abdullah the Butcher, Magnum TA. We'll see you next week, and until then, so long for now.